Hi, it's Jess here from Nigezza Creates. Thank you for joining me today. So this was just something I was working on over the weekend. We went away for the weekend, and I always take, when I go away, I always take a bag of scraps, some Tracy labels and a few bits and pieces. This is from Which Craft You Do. Got a couple of her sets, and yeah, and then lots and lots of scraps and book pages. These are my glue pages, which I'm gonna get out now to glue on. Yeah, and I popped in an envelope and thought I could I'll do something with that, maybe see what the fancy takes me. Sometimes I just make masterboards, so I made this. It's not finished yet, and I put her on to peek through the window, quite like that. And then I thought, how am I going to use it? So I've got some ideas. I'm thinking sometimes that can be dangerous. One of my thoughts were that it could in fact be, let's just move that there. We could have it as in the centre of a signature, and I could, so it's sewn in, obviously trim the top and the bottom, that sewn on, well, sewn in as a signature, but then glued down each side to be a tuck. This is a page in itself, but when you fold that over, you got your peekaboo. So it's just pretty, and peekaboo, and then you've got sort of journaling there. That was one thought. Or you could have it as a side flap, so that could be stuck to the page. You've got a tuck, well, you haven't got a tuck, you've got a full-on pocket there, and this could just flap out. And I could add some journaling spot on there that you could write on, but I've just decorated it for it to look pretty right now. So those were my thoughts. So yeah, it's just a matter of collaging on a brown envelope. So brown envelope, this is a UK brown envelope, and I just gently pulled it apart. Well, I didn't do a very good job of that, Jezebel. The other one pulled apart so much better. There, got ya. This one was one with a rip off there, whereas on the other one I got the nice shape. Not that it matters. I can put the shape back in. There we go. So I opened them up. At the time of starting it, I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm going to take this flap off because we don't need that. That's all. And I say I left the side flaps in because I thought that I might be using them, but I'm actually not going to. So I am going to now trim them off so they don't get in the way. So I just take them off either side. I will have to trim it down a bit because this is a bit long, but I think I'm going to trim it down afterwards. Now I could keep these as scraps, or I could bin them. Bin in them. Choosing to bin. Oh, not be light then. Choosing to bin. Now I'm at this stage. I'm not going to put something behind as a peekaboo. I'm just going to cover this. Now I've got. Now you can collage, or I got this. And I could just stick that on it. Oh, it's not quite wide enough, but I have to trim down anyway, so I might use this. So it's quite thin paper. This is newsprint paper. I was just trying out. I was printing on different types of paper just to see what effect you got. I didn't know if I would be able to stick on, print on even this newsprint paper. So this was just like a test run, and it worked. And then I thought, oh, this would be perfect for collaging because it's not very thick. Sometimes I find when I collage, what you end up with can be quite thick. That is really quite stiff in places. I mean, that is vintage paper, so it's quite thin, but this is being printed on, some of this is printed on 200 GSM, not 200, 120, and it's on both sides, so it's quite thick. So I thought, oh, I might do this. So, and this is already collaged, so it sort of cuts down the time a bit. Oh, now my little glue book here is there. I'll do. So what I did was I used glue stick and glue. So I put glue stick all over. I don't mean to teach Granny to suck eggs. Probably all know how to collage. But if you're like me, I quite like watching the process. Personally, I find it quite relaxing. There we go. So I've put that all over. And then I took my colour and went round the edges. Because I don't trust glue stick. I worry that it's going to come undone. I see so many people using glue stick for everything. Rachel Rotsy Creations, she sticks everything down with glue stick. I personally don't trust it. Right, that's got glue on it. Fold you over. With collage, you just want to keep clean because you really don't want to get glue where you don't want it. Now I don't normally, when I'm collaging, glue across a fold. I usually collage up to the fold. But as this is such thin paper, I thought I could get away with it. So it is, as I say, really, really thin paper this. Go on the other side. And that's a really quick way of covering that up. And I might, whilst we're at it, put some on the other side. And then that fold has just got Emma's name there, who did this particular sheet. So this is a masterboard collection that was made by the attendees at the Rich Umbrella craft retreat that I went on in the summer, and we all made a masterboard. She gave us all scraps, and then she digitalized them, shared the digitals, and they are available to buy. And yeah, it was very enjoyable exercise. I love making masterboards because you just don't have to think. And what's nice about this, I'm doing a collage project, so these masterboards have already been made, so it's cutting down on me collaging. But I will have to do some collaging because I haven't got enough. This one sheet, it's the only sheet I had. I printed off, but I did a project on Wednesday where I used lots of the sheets, so this was the only one I had left. And I couldn't use this for Wednesday's project because the paper's too flimsy. But I can use it for today's project. So I want to thank all my new subscribers for sticking with me. I did my collaboration with Rach and Bella, and yeah, lots of you subscribed. So I hope you're still with me and haven't thought, oh, actually, I didn't like her as much as I thought. So I do hope you stuck with me. So we got that, and then we want to go up there. What shall I do? A bit across there. Yeah, I might do a bit across there first. Not so worried about the top bit because I think we're going to trim that down a bit anyway. Oh, missed a bit. A bit off the edge there. Glue on there. I'm not going to put that on that side because I want that to be full coverage. So we'll come down here. Oh. Typical. Right. That there. What I'm going to do on this little bit is, in particularly as well, because it is the little sort of whatever the plastic's made of there, so I'm going to apply it to there and then trim off the end. Will it fold up over there? Oh, it's not quite long enough, Jez. That would have been quite a good coup, wouldn't it? I might stick that over there. Yeah. Take that off. So I've done quite well with this A4 sheet and covering this. Sometimes I overlap a little bit, which I might do with this. So I've got these two tiny little bits. Worry about that in a minute. So that doesn't feel as thick as the other one did, so that's good. Right, what have I got in here that I could use? I don't know. Let's go to my scrap box now. Let's see what I might use from my scrapbooks. What I really want is things that I've maybe printed on to, you know, quite like that, onto, although none of these examples of what I'm trying to say is what I've printed onto all just ordinary copy of paper. I think that's ordinary copy of paper, yeah. So that it's not too thick. Certainly don't want scrapbook paper at this stage because it's quite thick. Right. Let's see. See. That's quite big. Right. That's not quite wide enough. Is there something thinner on this side? Although I could put it down there and then put something else along there, or like that. That'll go in there. It's quite nice colours as well. Right, so I like collages with straight edges. So when I was choosing which sheets to use from this kit, I did mainly go for ones that had straight edges. And that can go in that little bit. Yes, cooking on gas. I kind of try and get a 90-degree angle. If it's copier paper as well, it's easier to rip. This is 120 GSM, so not quite so easy. Yeah, we'll have that and then we'll do that. Yep, that's what I'm going for. And I'm not worried about that gap at the top because I think I'll be, let's measure. Yeah, that's 8 1/4 from there to there. Well, of course it is, because that's how big that piece of paper was. So I don't know where some of these digitals have come from. So we've got, I have some of my own, that's my own. Got Rachel Bella, I've got Tracy Fox, I think that's what this is. I've got Artie Mays, that could be an Artie Mays there. So yeah, quite a lot of different ones. Right. What's quite nice, with it being a brown envelope, that if there was any little gaps, it's okay because it's brown and I'm not bothered with that sort of being seen. Take that off. Right. Oh, that's a bit sticky, which means that's a bit sticky. Right. So, a bit of this in here. Yep. So, I'm actually seeing how far I can go with this for it to be straight. Really, only across to there. Yep. So I might put that on there. I'm not inking around the edges. If you've ever watched me do a collage or a masterboard, you will know that I ink afterwards, which is one of the reasons why I like to ruler it, because you get fluffy edges, and so they'll take the ink like that. Right, okay. So these are just digital prints. I've printed multiples to a page, so they come out at different sizes, which I quite like. Gives you options. Oh, we all like options. I have got this and this. I might do a little bit of a mishmash of this lot together. So let's take that edge off. Oh. Let's take that off down there. So that could go on there. And put a bit of that in there, and a bit of that on there. So we're only seeing a tad of that. This, I've really not done a very good job of ripping that down. So if you went off at the edge, then we just want a little bit of that one. So just really going to take you back down there. Take the top off. Yeah, put that up there. Put that along there. And that'll be the collage done. What have we been? Half an hour. But if you're anything like me, you'd be watching it on double speed, and I might have speeded bits of this up. Who knows? Sometimes it just depends how long it is as to whether I speed things up or not. I know some people like to watch the whole process, but you can speed up yourself. I tend to watch everything on 1.5 speed, because people still sound a bit normal, and yeah, and it doesn't take so long, because we haven't got time to watch as much as I'd like. So that way I get to swatch more. This is quite a thin piece of paper, and I got glue all over it. It'll wipe off. I've now got glue on my elbow because that's stuck to my elbow. So that's great. All sorts coming in there. So right at the beginning I said you want to be as clean as possible, and yeah, I haven't been very clean there, so I'm trying to rub that off. But when I go over with some ink, that will actually leave a nice effect. So I'm not too worried at all about that. So we've got that, and then just going to come in now with my brush that's got ink on. So now that's like proper grunged up there. So we're just picking up the edges, going across there. So I've got the edges there of the what's going on around here. So that's that. And trying to see, oh, there's the where the crease would have been. Would have been there. So now we can, because it's well and truly dry now. And so nothing very interesting to see on the inside there, but I say I was going to do that afterwards anyhow. So that's my envelope. So I've got 2 of them now, sort of ready to go. Unlike this one, I have decorated both sides. This one I didn't bother because my thoughts were it was going to be a pocket. So had I remembered that, I wouldn't have bothered with that there. And then I would have actually had enough, probably, to have done all of it with this collage sheet. But anyway, not that it matters at all. So this one's had some extra decoration. Now what I want to do is trim it down to the size that I'm thinking I need, well, that I know I need. So I'm going to use my guillotine for this. So let's get me extender arm out here. So I'm going to chop that off there, because I didn't take the flaps off. So now we've got a nice straight edge there. And then on this side we're going to go to 8 1/4, because that's how tall the pages are. So that's that trimmed down to size. I'm going to neaten the edges down there. So that's all nice and straight, and I'm going to do the same on here as well. Just neaten our edges just a little bit. I'm going to do the same here. So I'm going to take a little bit off the bottom here to make it a nice edge. Go to 8 1/4, and that'll, I'm going to go slightly shorter because of the way I've got a bit there missing. I thought that would go nicely to the edge. Not thought did, Jez, didn't you? So let's trim those bits and trim those bits. And let's see what we have. That's been those bits. So it could be any way up really, but I'm going to stick with it this way up because actually that is more or less what I want. This is much less thick than this one because I use that thinner paper on it. And this one, I'm thinking, because it's because I have decorated both sides, I'm just going to use it as a page insert. I'm going to round the corners because why not? So I quite like that as it is. And then if that's going to be a page insert, sort of sewn into a journal like that. So we've got a page there, or that could even form a pocket, but I quite like it that it's both sides. And then got that on this side. Maybe take that out. Then I could put something on the page there that would peep through, and on that side. Or I could make that a pocket that you put a tag in to be seen. I could make it 2 pockets, so you have a tag at the top, tag at the bottom, you know, cooking on gas, Jez. And then I could leave that as it is. And you could do an extension on here, not this paper bag, but because that's pretty, you could then put a pocket on here, or just extend it with a journaling spot if you used like tea-dyed paper. Quite like that idea as well. Yeah. And then this one, we have got our peekaboo, so we do want so she is a little bit bigger than that sheet there, but that could be our pocket, and that's our peekaboo, and that's the next page. And that could be like the centre of a signature. So that's our second, yeah, so that's pockets. And then that goes over like that. And then we've got these for journaling. Quite like that, except she is a bit tall for that sheet, although I could cut her down. I could cut it down. Right, so let's start working on that. So we want this one cut down. I don't want to cut anything off the bottom because that's closest to the window. So I'm going to cut a smidge off the top. Cut that much off. I could take this page out because I don't want to cut any of that. So are we now? Are we now good? Yes, we are good, Jess. So I'm gonna, oh, that's one of my punches just fell. And I'm going to come in with inking. She's not very straight there. Oh, she didn't just. Right, I am going to take a bit off that. That's a bit better. I just noticed, and it was obvious because of the black dress, that section went straight, and I like my straight lines to be straight. So, oh, it was that way, wasn't it? So that can stick on there and be a pocket. I am going to, should I do it in the middle? Or should I do it towards the top? Let's go in the middle. There we go. So it's obvious it's a pocket. So I am going to glue. I'm going to bring in art glitter glue, I think. So we're going to glue along the bottom. Not a massive fan of art glitter glue. I know that everybody seems to love it, but I feel that depending on what paper I'm using, this is a bit thicker, that I feel I can see the glue lines, and I don't like seeing glue lines. So it's just me. Right. This is 120. It's either 122 years old, this paper, or it's 124 years old, because I think I cut out. I've got two ledger books, and one is 1901, I think, and one is 1989. Not 1889. So I think I've left the older one untouched. So there we go. So that will get sewn in the signature, and we've got ourselves a nice big side pocket there. Prettiness going on there. Turn it over, nice little peekaboo, and a nice big journaling space like that. I've already decorated this one, so I think I will leave it that and not add anything else to it, and that is just ready for when I do a journal that this will be appropriate for. Nice vintage journal, this will be lovely in. Now then, stick you back on the other one. I had the idea of making it some sort of double pocket. Right, so I've got that. That's quite thin. Have I got thicker coffee paper? I'm going to use this. So this I know is 120 GSM. Printed on one side. So fold that up like a signature. I always struggle to fold them, so I cheat. Well, it's not cheating, it's help. I've got two scoreboards, so I just pick both of them up. So what I like to do is I butt it right up, and then I know I'm getting it right. So that's my signature. Well, it's a folded piece of paper, but there we go. So I thought that goes really well, actually, I think, with the colours in that. Does just you right. So I might do it this way around then. So we're going to make that 2 pockets. So but I think I'm going to change my mind and do it this way around. Yeah, so then we've got pretty paper there. We've got pretty flap, journaling page, pretty paper, and then we've got 2 pockets. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a notch there, do a notch there. That's what we want. So yeah, I didn't need to cover that inside, but you know, I hadn't decided what I wanted to do. So there's no harm done. I could change my mind and make this a pocket as well. But if I just leave it as it is for now, then it will be fine. The other idea I had is I might sew it. Thought I might sew around that bit, although I don't know how that would be on there. No, changed my mind again. Right, so I am gonna do art glitter all the way up there, so that sticks to my page. Going all the way up here, and all the way up here, and then I'm going to go put up there, just so I've got a bit of a straight line to follow. Go up there. And then I'll just put that right on the edge there. And having those 2 notches there, that tells me it's 2 pockets with the centre down there. Right, so we're that way up, aren't we? Da, 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 da. That is a potential way that would be in the journal. And then we need 2 tags or journaling cards. Let's see what I might already have. So I made some faux postcards from pictures from a sort of a book that was full of photographs, so that would fit in there nicely. This one, I quite like the fact that you could, this one isn't done, a video on making these, but when that, I'll take the middle one out, so when that's backed, so it's a little bit easier to push in, that will fit in there, and then we'll see them, and I think that goes nicely with what's on there. So that is my idea for using these envelopes. Nice big pocket there and a little flip. So hope you like those ideas, and you'll give them a try. You know, if you like me, you save all your envelopes, and it's so cute to have a bit of a window. Nice strong pockets, and that one with a double pocket there for putting things in. I mean, you could put journaling cards, whatever you like in them, and nice little flap, which could be a pocket if you chose to do it that way. You could even choose to fold the signature the other way, so you've got your double pockets, and you've got that, and you've got that. Whichever, it's versatile, however you want to do it. This one needs to be turned into a postcard. So yeah, hope you like that. Do give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow, I think, if my scheduling is correct in my brain. Okay, see you again soon. Bye for now.